Look at Genesis 19. Out of the ground, the Lord God formed the beasts of the field and every bird of the air and brought them to Adam. Now, the Adam that is checked, he's being tested. Just like if you build a car, you notice car companies test their cars before they finally release their cars to the market. So they test resilience, they test braking, they test acceleration. So now God created man, and it was now time for God to test his creation. You're not listening. Now he did, and Adam to see, he brought them to Adam to see what he would call them. He's now checking the mind. Now, if right now I come say hello to you, I say, how are you? Hey, niaje ng'ombe? How are you, cow? No, I'm not abusing you. I'm just trying to. It's my mind is telling me you are a cow. So that's what God did. He brought specific things to test the mind of this man, to see whether they have done a good job or maybe there is leakage. So that's what he did there. He says, and whatever Adam called each of the living creature, that was its name. So what does that mean? Whatever God had in mind, he didn't tell Adam. And then he exposed Adam to a cheetah to see whether Adam will call it a cheetah. He was doing a mind check. Then Adam called it cheetah. So if God checked in his mind, he did not have a better name for that animal. You are not listening. So in God's mind, that animal was a cheetah. But he did not tell man. He wanted to see whether man, remember, he is created in the image. So man has the ability to function like God. So God had to test him. Then he brought an antelope. God says it's an antelope, but he didn't tell him. He said, what do you call that animal? Adam said antelope. God said, you are wise. So the mind was being checked. Once God finished, he noticed that the mind of man functioned. Then he said it was good. What is our heading today in this conference? Crisis. What's our heading today? Then you see why I'm going to the mind. I only have like 30 minutes or less. It's fine. What's our heading? What's our topic? Huh? What is our topic? Woi. Engineer, we honor you. What's our topic? Renewal of? Now, notice the word is re. Now, the original mind that man had, God checked it, and notice that the mind was functioning well. Now, the next part, because the mind is functioning, the mind was given a territory. Now, God took the man and positioned him in a place called paradise. And the Lord told him, because he had already checked with animals, so God, you know what is good and what is bad. You see that tree, you can eat. You see that tree, don't eat it. So man already was tested to see whether he has the ability to know what is good and what. The man now was put there. And when the man got there, we all know what the woman did. Now, when the man sinned, he lost something. He lost the mind. Now, because he had lost the mind that keeps him in righteousness, he received a new mind. All have sinned, and the result of sin, you fall short of glory. So your mind was now full of glory. This is why a cheetah couldn't eat you, because you are a carrier of glory. When you sinned, creation did not. So the same food, the same land that was to bring forth food, it became cast. Because there is a realm called glory, which your mind could no longer envelop. So you started thinking like earth. So man sinned, he fell from that realm. Now, this renewing of the mind is now where I'm coming. Long story short, you see now in all those systems, God is looking just for a man. Campus, education, government, president, all that he does is just to look for a man. And when he found one, it is recorded, he found a man after his heart. And his name was? So what is the mind? The mind is the part of you that is after something. That's what you call the mind. It is the part of you that has the ability to go after something. Now, you can make your mind go after God. You can make your mind go after women. You can make your mind go after money. At the end of it all, it is the part of you that has the ability to go after something, to choose. That's what you call your mind. So when Adam sinned, the mind was so fallen that God was now tasked with the job of restoring this man's mind. So God promised Satan. He says, I promise you, this same woman shall give me a seed. This same woman. So you notice Eve gave Satan a seed. Mary gave God a seed. Women, which woman are you? You can be Eve. You can give place to Satan to generate darkness for a generation. And you can be Mary. You can give space to God to generate light to a generation. It just depends on who you are. Jesus now comes. When the time comes, long story short, he enters into him. And John bore witness. Now, everything the Spirit wanted to do, this is the legal ground. So if you reject this one, you will need to find a way to get to the Spirit. You're not getting it. You will need to find a way. Now, brother, can I use you kindly? Kindly, it's a kind request. Now, assuming that's you, stand there. He wants to get to the Father. He wants to get to God. This is what I ask people in many religions. What are you planning to use to get here? How are you coming here? Because assuming you have come, if you come this way, walk slowly towards me. Just to come and then you leave the man age. Now you are dead. You are appearing here. Even your spirit will be faded. It's like you, the holiness, the magnitude of the holiness. Who here has ever stood in front of a lot of fire? You are not listening. Mumeanza. I promise I will go to school. Just listen. Have you ever stood in front of a lot of fire? Eh? What burns you? The fire or the heat? Now that's how the presence of God is. If you appear this way, the kind of heat, it will be like you are never created. You will just disappear. Now because God loves you, he takes this heat and puts it on his son. And his son contains it. Now, if you come to his son, come. You can't be contaminated. So because Jesus is the heat of God. Now in him we move. In him we live. And in him we find our being. What's so hard to understand, young people? Why do you reject the gospel? Why do you refuse Jesus? You will perish in your own darkness, for you reject the truth of the word of God. Of a truth I tell you, one day you will remember. When your age is done and your glory is blotted out, and your light is but nothing, and your resources are brought to shame, and your education means nothing, that day you will remember, nothing would have lived for matters. No glory in this world. No great name here for me. No glory in this world. My great reward is you. I won't trade you for gold. Your presence, my daily Lord. My goal is not to be educated. My goal is not to be rich. My goal is to see your face. My goal is to see your face. And above all, not my lecturer, to hear you say, well done. That's what I'm fighting for. To see Jesus and to hear him tell me, my son, they listened or they didn't listen, but you take a crown. Well done. One day this life will be over. If all there is to your life is in this age, I am here to tell you I'm sorry for you. If you are planning to be an educated person and not use it to shape a generation, to mold people into the right direction, you are useless. I came from a family of intellectuals, wealthy men. I saw education mean nothing. Money means nothing. Cars mean nothing. I found that only one thing matters. For that thing I'll be educated. Because I now have a purpose for my education. I will use it to serve God. That I will stand there as a lawyer and not be corrupted. Go to school, but go with God. Become wealthy, but with God. Be married with God. Have children with God. Be a lecturer with God. Without Jesus, everything means nothing. What is now God's mind? Let this mind be in you. Now look here. Look here. Give me this phone quickly. We have the mind of Christ. This mind is not yours. This is the mind that makes him to love. This is the mind that makes him not to sin. Now what God is doing, he says he wants to renew your mind. He wants to take from him and put it on you. Now, what's the difference? Look at the people now. Each of you look at the people. Now, he no longer needs to come. Now, whatever you see him do. God, do anything. Now you have the mind of Christ. A new system is coming upon your mind. So whatever God is doing in heaven, you are the representative on earth. If God, whatever, just do anything. Look at that. Because now you have a mind. Just do anything. Keep doing whatever. That's the idea. Now, what makes you keep doing? Just keep following him. Do what he's doing. Look at that. No glory in this world. Now, if we take this mind, look, whatever God is doing, you first of all, you don't even know. So you summarize all your life to drinking. Summarize all your life to women. Summarize all your life to nonsense. Your life is nothing. Vesuka prehen sofredila. Abembombe si kobrada falato mehevesi sotalika ya bekombos. What is our reason? Why did God bring you to Nairobi, the Nairobi University? To reflect him. That you can be an A student with God. That you can be an A student with God. Why did God bring you here? Ask your neighbor after the degree. Look at your neighbor. Look at your neighbor. Ask him after degree. Then, okay, now you have, okay, you are now the doctor. Okay, now you are the engineer. Okay, so? Okay, so, excuse me, little girl, now you are the cutest. You have been given an award in your campus of modeling. Okay, Sawa, you have modeled naked. Okay, so? Do you know the repercussion of the pictures you post online? Young people, do you know what you are doing? Are you not afraid your daughter will meet you naked? Are you not afraid? Don't you see that one day your son will just look at you, your son, and say, Mommy, what is this? Are you not afraid? Don't you have dignity? At least for nothing but a generation. Can't you see what you are doing? You are now young and foolish. You will not be old. Sister, you see the way your breasts are standing and everyone is celebrating you. Eh? One day they will sag. No one will even care. They won't even know they exist. You see the way now you are passing and you are shaking everything. One day you will try to shake. People will tell you, Auntie, why are you shaking? Auntie, stop. People will tell you, yak, Auntie. Can you imagine a 70-year-old doing? But now you are 19. Hey. Now when they take pictures, you can't put both of your legs down. What's that? What's this? What is it? Put your leg down, Auntie. One day, this video will be played. You will remember. Look down on Jesus all you want. I guarantee you will remember. As you go today, this is why you need your mind to be renewed. That you can come back to your senses. What are your senses? Joy, peace, righteousness. That's your normal. Your abnormal is lying, stealing, cheating. Are you listening? That's your abnormal. What is your normal? Tell your neighbor joy. Okay, now preach to your neighbor. Tell your neighbor, joy is your normal. Peace is your normal. Now, brother, why are you fighting that boy because he's taking your girlfriend? Girlfriend. Ask us who are married. Unapigwa, kijana, unapigania girlfriend. Na hata kuoa. You see that girl, she's playing with you. Hata kuoa, hata kula tu hizo ganji zako akutoke. Hati unaenda hapo. Unaongea na demu yangu. Me, I waste my energy fighting for you. Oh, me, I have a destiny and I need my teeth. Me, John C.W., you are playing. You are playing. You are trying. Why don't you use that energy to be a Superman for the things of God? At least there is a reward. At least there is a reward for what you call the blood of martyrs. If you die preaching, Jehovah will crown you. What is the crown? That you appear in heaven without manner. Aya, magego madire komorio. Bro, where did teeth go? Jerry. I was fighting for Jerry. I wanted Jerry to know that I'm the guy. 20 years. So I saw Mawacha Kierere. What do you know about life at 20? 20 years. What do you know about dating? It's almost 12 years and I didn't date my wife. The first day I saw her, I told her, you're my wife. You are 19. You have 49 exes. 19 years. 49 ex. 49, uncle. A girl is 19 na kona sexual experience. At yendo menta wako cheki. Ukienda hapo. I laugh at you. Cheki, unakaa hivi sawa. Na una 19 years. You are a sexual teacher. You know why? Because you have another mind. When you come to your senses, there is nothing as beautiful. Tell your neighbor, come to your senses. Come to your godliness. Come to your godliness. Come quickly. It might be today is your last day and you're listening to me. What if your funeral is tomorrow? Oh, little girl. I don't go places. When I receive this invite, it's because it's you. You know me. I don't look for anything. There is nothing man can give me. I've seen things in my life. Property we have. Wealth we have. What is it? What is it? What did we come here for? What honorarium are you giving me? When I had campus, what did I say? What did I tell you, my team? That the Lord is opening doors to the campus. When I had it. If my mission was abroad, I would have left that mission to come here. Just for 2 people. Because I know how Satan wants this mountain called education. I know it. He likes intellectuals. He hangs around intellects. What is your role now? Tell your neighbor, today, you can receive another mind. You can receive another mind. Masturbation will die if you receive that mind. There is nothing you can do. There is no medicine you can take. There is a statement my sister has said in her wording. He says, time doesn't heal. God does. Only God can save you. Now you might not see it because you are the first one in your class. Without God, you are nothing. Nothing.